Great ideas. One of the things that actually helps you manifest is to have great ideas. This is something that you can be downloaded for. What it feels like to have great ideas. Use those ideas to work for you. Nothing like having great ideas to make you successful. Be clever. You need to be clever. Some of you need to know that being clever is almost better than being smart. Being clever and knowing how to put things and word things and look at things. If you have this working for you, you've got a great list working for you. If you want to be a successful teacher, how do you do that? Well, you do that by knowing your material. If you don't know your material, how can you teach? If you don't know how it works, how can it work for you? You need to practice with a few people before you really go out and teach. You need to practice what you know so you can really tell people what you know. One of the things that will really help you in achieving what you want is to be able to listen to others but still hold your space. That means if you've got a great idea, be careful who you share it with. People can dissolve and destroy your beliefs or your ideas in seconds. They can tear them apart where you don't want to do them anymore. Keep counsel with yourself. Keep your mind to yourself. Share them only with people that are able to work on achieving things for you. Don't share them with people that tear them down. Keep your company. Keep your company with the people that build you, not tear you apart. It is important for you when you manifest. The seventh plane of existence is the highest form of energy. You're touching the actual energy of creation. You're touching the energy before it becomes the energy of creation. With this, you can create anything. The more you practice, the better you are at it. So when you go up and manifest as if it's already there, if you already have it. And remember, we bring to us people in our life for certain reasons. A lot of us bring us people that say we can't. So working with all those around you, you need to be careful that you are not working with people that tell you you can't all the time, unless that stimulates you. Some of you are stimulated by people telling you you can't, telling you you'll fail, and then you have to prove them that you can go forward. Maybe you should look for this. Make sure that this isn't a flaw in your manifesting. Surround yourself with people that are actually supportive. Even if that's one person, surround yourself with that one person. Avoid surrounding yourself with people that cut you down all the time. One of the things that actually help you manifesting is to do this technique called remembering your future. Go up. Remember what decision you made and what the outcome is. Using the remembering the future exercise is very important to decide if you're being successful, if your seminars are coming together. But when you do this exercise, you need to do it many times to know that you're doing it right before you can actually trust it and count on it. Now, there's only a couple things that can really mess up your manifesting. And part of that is your own divine timing. Your own divine timing sometimes will screw up your own manifesting. Say you're supposed to start a healing center, but perhaps it wasn't supposed to be started until March, and it's January now. You've arrived trying to manifest it, trying everything that you can to manifest it, but you're like hitting your head against the wall. But all of a sudden in March, the door is open and everything is available to you. That is because it is part of your divine timing. And divine timing is just that. Divine timing is learning specific virtues, specific things in your lifetime that really help you. Divine timing is learning how to be kind, learning how to be loving, allowing yourself time to help others, being at a certain place in a certain time to motivate others. So perhaps your divine timing starts in March 2012, when in reality you're there January 2012, knowing what you want, but the doors just don't seem to be opening for you. So you go up, you say, Creator, what's going on here? The Creator says, your divine timing is this happens in March. Learn what you can, study what you know, allow the timing to be right for you. This is important to you when you all have so many really amazing divine timings. Maybe your divine timing is as a healer and you want to go and sell insurance and you're not doing very well at it. Maybe you should go up and make sure that you're really on your divine path. Because if you're on your divine path, doors open for you. When you decide to open your divine path, when you decide to actually fall forward and do what you're supposed to, when you let your divine path lead you, you better make sure that you have boundaries set on your time. boundaries for yourself, your family, and others. Because if you're a healer and you want everyone that you touch to heal, then millions of people will be coming to you all the time and you will never have time for yourself. You need to make sure that you have those boundaries set first. One of the things that you have to do in Theta Healing to be actually really good at Theta Healing is to be honest. And that means honest with yourself and honest with others. And that's not so easy. You see, some of these virtues that we're talking about are actually high vibrational thoughts. They take your energy up to the creative energy of all that is, to the energy of creation. It is only these very integrous, virtuous thoughts that can do this. And so you have to realize that you need to be honest in your dealings with yourself and others in order to be a very successful Theta healer. When you do Theta Healing, you need to be accountable. Again, like I told you before, you need to be accountable for every bill that you have, realizing that every time you pay someone, something else happens. Every time someone gets paid for a bill, other people get paid for this bill. Your energy, your dollar makes things happen. You need to be accountable for your bills, accountable for what bills you've put together, and as you become accountable, people are accountable for paying you. It starts this huge cycle so that you actually get paid. It's really important that you hold in accountability. And you need to be generous. If you want to be successful at Theta Healing, you need to be able to give a tithe to someone who needs it, a scholarship to someone who needs it, without telling anyone who the scholarship is. You need to be able to give it to someone who appreciates it. If they don't appreciate it, then don't give it to them. Ask the Creator who to give a scholarship to. The more you give a little bit of your generosity, for 1/10 of your students, you give one person a scholarship, you will always have full classes. This is an amazing secret. The other thing is your reputation. You know, your reputation is really important. Now, not everyone's going to have a great reputation. And Lord knows that there are people out there that spend all their time on the internet trying to destroy other people's reputation. But when it comes down to it, the people that you work with will tell other people about you and your reputation will be established. You need to make sure that you do your best job on every person who comes to you. Now that is just for the Theta healers that want to become good teachers and good Theta healers. And I would suggest you do it in anything in your life. All right, so we had a long discussion. We showed you how to manifest. We showed you the secrets of manifesting. Now there's a few more secrets I'd like to share with you. These are secrets that have helped me manifest through my whole life. First of all, one of the major keys is that you are surrounded by energy. Everything that you touch and everything that you feel picks up energy imprints from you. Therefore, it picks up energy imprints from everyone who touches it. So when you go home at night, anyone who's been in your house or previously in your house or any visitor that you've ever had, they've left their imprints. So anything that you buy it with the people's imprints. And so everything around you has other people's imprints. You are totally being bombarded every day of your life by other people's thoughts and other people's imprints on everything that they touch around them. This constant feed of information is going into your subconscious all the time. And you are constantly battling other people's negative thoughts, other people's feelings of failure. It's sometimes very difficult to pick out which feelings are yours. And where do you rest? We suggest that you do these things, and it would really help you in your life manifest more money and other things in your life. First thing that we suggest is that you go home and you clear your house. That means that you go up and you to the Creator and you command everything to completely clear. Then you go up and you command all the soul fragments back from the land to come back to the land that you're on. Then you go to everything that's in your house, everything, and download it with a new job to do. So everything in my house has a job to do. My couch has a job of feeling comfortable. My kitchen table has a job that everyone who eats from it feels full and relieved. I even download my husband's shoes that they're comfortable so that he can wear a comfortable pair of shoes. I download everything in my house. The floor, that it feels supportive and love. Every picture in my house, that it gives a feeling of comfort and love. Every crystal in my house has a download on top of its amazing crystal abilities that it can do, its amazing healing abilities it already has. I download it. I download one crystal geode that as people come into my front door, that it cleanses everyone's negative energy out as they come into my house. Downloading your entire house with love, abundance, healing. I download my bed that I can rest and get plenty of sleep, but it also with playfulness, so it has imagination and playfulness downloaded right into the bed. The bathtub, that every time you keep a bath, you feel cleansed and pured, and everything is set right in your life. With everything downloaded in your house, it's like feng shuiing your house, only super feng shuiing your house. Will actually feed you back energy and thought forms that will actually help you build. Remember, we are what we want to be. We create our own reality. If our own reality around us feeds us energy all the time, we can create wonderful things in our house and in our home. Download your office, download your cameras, download your computers, download everything that you have with the energy you want it. Going up to the creator of all that is and commanding a download on everything. Make it specific towards every little detail in your house. Make sure that it's there so that you can actually feel this energy coming back. This is the energy that builds your dreams and builds what you want. So with your permission, do I have permission to teach you what the difference between divine timing and your imagination is? How to be clever, how to listen to others, how to accept abundance from the Creator that is in store for you, how to have accountability, set boundaries on your time, make time for your family and yourself, how to have generosity, how to be honest, how to be impeccable with your word, how to understand the power of intention, to know the difference between your thoughts and another's thoughts, to discipline yourself to achieve, to be close to God and still have money, to be thankful, to see how abundant you already are, to live your life without blaming your mother or your father, to live your life with abundance as a second nature, and to know that there is always a solution, to have creative solutions and abundance in your future. And with your permission, I will download this film, and if you choose to accept this download, just say yes. One of the things that we do in our abundance class is we let people take a test that is handed out to them, that they can actually check what beliefs that they have. A lot of the beliefs that are on this test are genetic beliefs that are handed down, beliefs that you would never think of taking or doing before. We're going to show you a couple exercises to help you with your abundance issues. One thing that will really help you is to bless your money. Every time you spend it, command that it comes back 3 times as much. So you bless your money. The more I spend, the more I make. You download your money, that it will come back to you 3 times. One of the other things that I do that is really important, that always helps me with success, is I always leave a little bit of food on my plate so that my mind always knows that there's abundance in my world, and I know that there is no loss. And I respect leaving food for the spirits and the fairies just a little bit, so I know that there is no loss, that there is always plenty. The other thing is that I make out the bills before I spend it. I know what they are, they're made out, but I always make sure that I make the money before I spend it. And then you always need to go up to the 7th plane to manifest. Always go to the 7th plane. Okay, we've got you set. You know what you want to manifest. First of all, you pretend that you have all the money that you ever possibly wanted. An example is, manifesting is a different way of doing belief work. Instead of the belief work kind of going down like a level of blocks, you're going to be building the block up. So first of all, if you had all the money you ever wanted, what would you do with it? An example is this. This one gentleman said that if he had all the money he ever wanted, he would create a house. Not just any house, a tree house in Cairns, Australia. So he imagines creating a tree house. He closes his eyes. I tell him, okay, imagine that you have this, imagine that you're completely there. And he imagines it, he closes his eyes, his face lights up, and then it looks horrified. It looks horrified because the next thing that comes out of his mouth is, I can't have this. I said, you can't have this? He says, no, I can't have this. If I had this, my mother-in-law would move in. I said, your mother-in-law would move in? Would you like to know how to say no to your mother-in-law? He said, you don't know my wife. So I said, okay, would you like to build your mother-in-law an addition, maybe a separate tree house right next to yours? He said, okay. Again, closed his eyes, started to imagine what he wanted to manifest, And he didn't get any farther than just the treehouse again, and he said, oh, I can't do this. I said, why not? He said, if I had this treehouse and my mother-in-law had a treehouse next to me, my brother-in-law will want to borrow money. Now here's this man living with his wife in a small apartment. Now his subconscious knows, the bigger it gets, the more people come with it. So he is unable to manifest himself out of this. So you can see his subconscious isn't trying to hurt him. His subconscious is trying to help him. So what does he need to do to be able to manifest this? So we downloaded into him that he can actually say no to his brother-in-law. Then he was able again to start to create what he wanted in reality. But he couldn't go beyond this until he had solved those problems. So when you're creating in your manifestation, you really imagine you have it. Then what will happen? What will happen? Another example of manifesting. Say this is the person, he's got all the money that he wants to in the world, and the first thing he wants to do is he wants to manifest a house. Well, the first thing he says is he wants to manifest 2 houses. So I make him close his eyes and imagine 2 houses. But of course, I ask important questions like, who's going to take care of the extra house? Then he changes his mind immediately and says, I don't want 2 houses, I only want 1. So now he has 1 house, and I say, where is it? And he says, it's on the ocean. I said, okay. What color, what does it look like? He says it has white carpet and white furniture. And I'm thinking, now it's by the ocean, there's a lot of sand there, we're going to have to put in some sand traps, and maybe a couple maids. I mean, if he's really going to keep it white. But of course, that's my imagination visualizing for him, so I make him visualize. I make him visualize the carpet, the couch, seeing himself sitting there, and I say, now is there anyone sitting with you? And he says, yes, it's my soulmate, she's sitting with you. I say, close your eyes and imagine your soulmate. So he closes his eyes, but he doesn't imagine a soulmate. In fact, he doesn't see anyone there. And he says to me, there's no one there. And I said, why isn't there someone there? And he says, because everyone that I love leaves me, and everyone that loves me leaves me. I'm never good enough. I'm never what they want. Okay, so right there, there's a block. Now, when we set him down, we asked him the things that he wanted. The first thing he said, he wanted a house. But before we actually started the whole procedure, I said, what would you want? He said, I want a house, a soulmate, I want to travel around the world and teach. In that order. So he imagined the house, okay, but not the soulmate. And he says that every soulmate that loves him leaves him, or that he loves leaves them. So he's never good enough. I said, where did you learn that from? He said he learned that from his mother. That everything that he ever made for her, she would throw away in the garbage can, and she didn't want anything to do with it. Okay, so everything is never good enough, he's never good enough. And I asked him an important question like you do when we do something called resentment work, which is, what did you learn from this? And he said, I learned that it's safer to be alone than to let someone love me. Now right then you realize that almost every relationship he has, he's never good enough. So on some level he pushes them away because it's easier for him and safer for him to be alone than to let someone love him. Now how he learned it was that love hurts and it's safer to be alone than to let someone love me. So as we change this and teach him that it's actually safe to have someone love him, that he has good discernment on who to love him, that he's allowed to be loved, we change these things when we do the belief work. And as we change these things, this changes, and suddenly he's allowed in his mind to see himself sitting next to someone who loves him on the couch. Now, as you can see, the subconscious is just trying to protect him, but it is definitely stopping the manifestation unless he knows it's safe. So that's very quickly to describe to you how you can block your own manifestation. So here's what you do. I want you to sit down, make a list of what you want. Really imagine having it. Then go up to the Creator and imagine it in your life now, saying, this is in my life now, walking through the actual meditation of the 7th plane. When you do that and you visualize yourself having it, really feel it. And then when you're finished, you need to sit with a partner or sit with someone and say, tell them, what's the worst thing that would happen if you had this? What's the worst thing that would happen around your family? How would your friends feel? How do people feel about you having this? And you will quickly find that you have many blocks on what other people think, what other people expect. And what will happen to you if you do have these things? These are your blocks. This is where you do your belief work. This is how you do it. All right, so remember, your subconscious needs more than one thing to manifest. It's a brilliant, brilliant machine. It's the fastest computer that ever was. And so you've got to give it actual things to do. Now your soul and your spirit wants to experience, so it just wants to experience as much as it can. So why don't we focus your subconscious and bringing us the things we want to manifest? So you need to make a list, just like you do a grocery list. And most of you know how to use a grocery list. I mean, you check things off the grocery list as you go. So you make a lot of things that you want to manifest, an enormous amount of things you want to manifest. Make them short-term, make them long-term. Go up, do a manifesting, and then wait and see what happens. But when you manifest, visualize actually having it. 9 times out of 10, you're going to change your manifestation because it's not exactly what you want. Remember, if you want a healing center, you have to work with other healers, and maybe they're not so easy to get along with. Maybe you should manifest that you're working with easy healers. Be specific about what you want, or your subconscious will bring to you just exactly what you ask for. So you want people who get along, someone to do the books, the best accountant possible. Maybe you want a place where people can be. Maybe you don't want to share with your place with people, but you need to kind of visualize this and think about this. Okay, so everyone take a deep breath in. Okay, now in just a moment I'm going to take you up and touch the energy of the divine. I want you to imagine energy coming up through the bottoms of your feet, moving up to the top of your head, making a beautiful ball of light. Now I want you to pretend that you're in this ball of light. That you move up faster than the speed of light, faster than you can possibly imagine, or that you just fold the universe in half, but you're through the entire universe. And now you're into different layers of light. Now I want you to imagine that you are going through a beautiful golden light. And now I want you to imagine you're going through something thick like jelly or jello, and into a tingly white light. Realizing that you've done this very quickly because your mind moves so quickly, I want you to imagine that you're in this tingly, sparkly white light that sparkles like snow. This is the energy of creation. This is the energy that actually makes up the particles of protons before they're particles. This is the energy of pure, knowing love. And I want you to make the command, creator of all that is, Atanaha, all that is. This is in my life now, in the highest and best, and in the right now. Thank you, it is done, it is done, it is done. Now I want you to imagine exactly what it is that you wanted in your life. I want you to see it, be there, feel it. Is this really what you want? Do you want to add more to it? When you're finished, take a deep breath in. Go back to that tingly white light, knowing that you are connected to everything that is in this light. It's perfect love. You're completely safe with the realization that you are part of all that is. And then open your eyes. There is no need to ground because you're already connected to the perfect energy of all that is.